Well, hey everybody, welcome to SPERO DEI. My name is David Perez, and I am the lead minister of this really imaginative church. SPERO DEI is in Nashville, but we are so unique because we are imagining a different kind of Christianity here in the 21st century. We are imagining a Christianity that wants to heal the world with love. We are imagining a Christianity where the number one important thing is Christ-like love. And we are imagining a Christianity that continues to evolve and change. And why does it evolve and change? Because there's greater wisdom for what's going on in our world, and there's more and more empathy for the people around us in our world. So wherever you are today, whether you're watching somewhere in the Nashville area, or you're in some other American city somewhere else, or you're even watching in some other country, which I know we do, welcome to SPERO DEI.
Everyone's welcome, this home's made for you. Clothed in familiar decorations, there's room at the table, a place just for you. What's mine is yours, is enough for everyone. The table, a place just for you. So come as you are, wounded and broken. Come with your worry, oh come take a breath. You're not alone, you've not been forgotten. Just come all you There's room at the table, a place just for through all the struggle, through all your striving. The door's always open to come back again. Here you can find peace like a river, and it will surpass all that you understand. Oh, it will will surpass all that you understand.
Good morning, SPERO Day. The second Sunday of Advent is traditionally about peace, which is when we reflect on peace within, peace with each other, and even peace with our Maker. Traditionally, this is tied to when the angels told the shepherds that Jesus had been born and proclaimed that peace on earth had come. But this comes right on the heels of Thanksgiving, which gets us also in touch with our longing for home. And when I say home, I mean the kind of home that completes us, where we're known and accepted and safe, where we experience comfort and support and being seen and being heard, where there's laughter and reminiscing, affection, hope, and peace. And by the way, we're created for this. And when we feel this kind of connection, it brings a deep sense of security. When our homes are peaceful, they are, in a sense, like healing stations. And all the commercials and the ads and the movies that we're seeing right now, they all contribute to this longing for home, this togetherness, shared meals around a table, giving, forgiving, the lights, the candles, the smells, all the cozy feels. And some of you experienced some form of this over Thanksgiving, and I am truly glad. It's really a gift. But for many, you were reminded that going home is never as easy as it sounds. You may have been reminded of some pain that comes up from going home. Some of you may experience rejection, judgment, isolation, not being seen or understood. Maybe you go home and everyone expects you to play the same old role, even though you've changed and grown beyond that. Some of you have to endure comparisons to your other siblings, like who's the most successful or well-adjusted. It might even be as simple as it's just not as magical as when we were kids. Things are changing, and that's sad. It might be this season you might be experiencing the holidays for the first time without a loved one. You might be going through a divorce. You might have had a job loss. This longing for home is hardwired in us. In my field, we call it secure attachment. And to feel secure with our loved ones is what we're wired for. In fact, when we don't experience this, when we experience what I talked about a moment ago, we feel rejected and abandoned, which is so painful for us. We will avoid it at all costs. This is why sometimes we hide our authentic selves from others or stay away from vulnerability. It's just so risky. We all want to be accepted. We all want to belong. We all want love. And all of this actually can bring us great peace. Well, as I was reflecting on peace this week, I read the story again from the second chapter of Luke of Jesus' birth. And I was struck by the fact that there was not a whole lot of peace woven through at least the first part of the story. Let me read it to you. And at that time, the Roman Emperor Augustus decreed that a census should be taken throughout the Roman Empire. All returned to their own ancestral towns to register for this census. And because Joseph was a descendant of King David, he had to go to Bethlehem in Judea, David's ancient home. He traveled there from the village of Nazareth in Galilee. He took with him Mary, to whom he was engaged, who was now expecting a child. And while they were there, the time came for her baby to be born. She gave birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped him snugly in strips of cloth and laid him in a manger, because there was no lodging available for them. Now, so much is not covered here. Mary is a pregnant, unwed woman, and in those times and in that culture, Joseph would have been well within his rights to leave her, to abandon her, because this baby was not his. I have to think, what were they feeling? What were they thinking? Was she afraid? Where is my baby going to be born? Will I be safe? Will my baby be okay? Will this man stay with me? Are people around us aware of our situation? Most likely she was thinking, this is not how I imagined it for myself. And maybe some of you are in a similar situation where you are not experiencing peace. So on this second Sunday of Advent, when we light the candle of peace, I think it's a great opportunity to slow down before the rest of December ramps up and be curious. What would it be like to experience peace within, with each other, and also with our Maker? John 14:27 says, I am leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart, and the peace I give is a gift the world cannot give. This word peace means so much more than like the absence of warfare or a calm state of mind. Peace, or shalom, in the scriptures means this kind of flourishing, wholeness, harmony. It's this inward sense of completeness and tranquility. So when Jewish people greet each other, they often say shalom, which literally means peace, but it also means may you be full of well-being. When our friends, Rabbis Flip and Lori Rice, had us over for Shabbat a couple weeks ago, they say Shabbat Shalom. And basically what they are saying when they say that is, may you end the week with a rest that brings inner peace, that recenters us on the one who gives it. And may your next week begin with that sense of inner rest and completeness where nothing is lacking. So this morning, I want to take time to consider how we can have peace, especially when we are living through situations where it is really hard to experience it. And I first want to talk about peace within. I think one of the greatest ways we can bring peace within is really to concentrate on balance and rhythm. I think we are meant to experience rhythm and balance. We're meant to work and to rest, to accomplish and to play, to be still and to be active. Ecclesiastes 3 says there's a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance. And we have these rhythms. We have these rhythms just even with our seasons all around us. Every day is a new rhythm. The sun comes up and the sun goes down. But you know, with the invention of the light bulb, really our margins and rhythms got pulled out. Day got to extend, night got to be denied, so we could work more, do all these things. And in that, what came out of it is rest went away, silence went away, time together went away, and there's so many other things that have contributed to when we live out of balance. But we need rhythm. In fact, we don't even like it when daylight savings comes, right? It throws off our rhythm. And what if we could learn from our Jewish brothers and sisters and find intentional ways to bring balance back into our lives? This is what Shabbat is designed for. Every Friday night, the tradition is designed to restore wholeness, to refill hearts and bodies and minds. It's so that peace can be restored to heal what may have been lost in this past week and to fill up for the week to come. And by the way, Shabbat is part of our heritage. Jesus was Jewish. He would have practiced this with his family every Friday night. What are ways that we can bring traditions back into our inner world that helps us to have rhythm and balance? I think this is a great thing for us to consider. One of the things that I see a lot of people do is also for bringing inner peace is getting off of social media. Getting off of social media is a great one. It brings back connectedness to our own life. Learning to meditate or work with mindfulness is another way to bring inner peace. It helps us to emotionally regulate and have perspective and stay open and flexible. The Danish word hygge, it looks like hygge. In fact, we have a family here with the last name and they pronounce it hygge. It's this art of creating intimacy, either with yourself, friends, or home, of appreciating life's simple pleasures. It's about creating warm atmosphere and enjoying the good things in life with good people. This is a Danish word. And if you know anything at all, in our globe, every time there is an assessment of who are the happiest people on this planet, it is the Danes. And we can learn from them. Maybe you want to have a little hygge in your life. Light a candle. sit under the Christmas tree, watch the sun come up. Another way I think to bring peace into our life is establishing boundaries. And at first it may not feel so peaceful when you're doing that. The people around you may not applaud when you're starting to set boundaries. But if you can stay steady and strong and learning to set boundaries, in the end, it will bring you so much serenity. I think one of the greatest things when it comes to boundary work is just assessing and letting go of relationships in your life that are not even healthy. Practicing saying things without explaining that really communicate your boundaries, like, I'd rather not, or I'm saving money right now, so I can't go, but maybe I can join you next time, or, I understand your opinion on this, but we can agree to disagree, or isn't it so great that we see this differently? Or I need to stop for a minute and eat something. I'm getting hangry. Or I'm really exhausted and I need to take a break. Maybe it's, I don't want to discuss politics, religion, my sexual orientation. And practicing these things, often we have to practice them when we're on our own, but the more we practice them and bring them to others, what it does is it brings down resentment and hurt. And it empowers us to feel like we are taking care of ourselves. And it brings inner peace. There may be other things that you can think of that bring inner peace to you, but I encourage you to really take time to think, what are those things that you want to bring into your life? Peace with others. What does that look like? Making peace with those that we need to. Now, I want you to consider two things, if they have the capacity for that, this other person, or if it's even healthy for you to do this. In Luke 6:37, it says, don't pick on people, jump on their failures, criticize their faults, unless, of course, you want to do the same, have the same treatment. Don't condemn those who are down. That kind of hardness can boomerang. Be easy on people. You'll find life a lot easier. Give away your life. You'll find life given back. But not merely given back with bonus and blessing. Giving, not getting, is the way. Generosity begets generosity. Of course, that's from the Message, but I love it. And it takes courage to say, I hurt you. I let you down. I'm sorry that I wasn't there for you. I regret that I treated you badly because you really matter to me. How can I be there for you in a better way? Or what can I do to work to regain your trust? These take courage, but at the same time, it can be done. To have peace in our relationships, sometimes we also need to be willing to find people that we can be known by and that are emotionally safe for us. Kurt Thompson, in his book, The Anatomy of the Soul, Surprising Connections Between Neuroscience and Spiritual Practices That Can Transform Your Life and Relationships, long title, great book, says this about being known. Our Western world has long emphasized knowledge, factual information, and proof over the process of being known by God and others. No wonder, then, that despite all our technological advancements and the proliferation of social media, we are more intra- and interpersonally isolated than ever. Yet it is only when we are known that we are positioned to become conduits of love. And it is love that transforms our minds, makes forgiveness possible, and weaves a community of different and unconnected people into the tapestry of God's family. I love that. This is one of the reasons that we created SPERO DEI, and our tagline says, where your story finds a home. Because we know that many of us did not experience in our homes this kind of peace that we can return to. I'm so grateful that those of you that do have these homes to go home to, that are healthy, are celebrated. But part of being a family is having awareness that you may be sitting next to someone that does not have that. We are continuing to try to bring groups and book clubs and serving opportunities, and we're just continuing to grow and develop in this because we want you to have places where you can be involved and to be known. As well as outside of these walls, we want to give a sense of home to those that are wounded, that are lost, that are hurting, alone, gay, straight, man, woman, whatever. If you are wanting to be known and experience connection, I really hope that you'll take a step this next year in getting involved here at SPERO DEI. Lastly, I want to talk about having peace with our Maker. Peace with our Maker, for some of you, just coming into a church right now is really hard and really difficult. So making peace with your Maker is a real deal. I would encourage you to be gentle with yourself and don't push yourself in places that you just can't go, especially those of you that are recovering from any kind of spiritual abuse. There may be scriptures in the Bible that you just can't go near. There may be songs that you just can't sing. Don't do it. Putting the Bible down can be one of the best ways to recover and eventually have peace with your Maker. If you have been served a God that is wrathful and vengeful and rigid, I would only encourage you to get to know a God who is loving and gentle and there for you. Find scriptures that speak to this. Maybe this is the perfect time for you to get to know God through him as a baby here at Christmas, because babies are vulnerable and new and bring hope. And I would encourage you to meet God in the places that speak to you and bring peace into your life. If it's in nature, art, poetry, looking around the table during this next holiday season and enjoying the smiles of the people that you love. I personally have had to put things down that have just been too difficult and triggering for me so that I can experience God in new ways that bring comfort and security into my life. And I am really grateful to say in this time that I feel closer to him than ever. And he is a great source of security. He's a present companion for me. I believe that we have to learn how to reach for the people in our lives, and that this is also how we tend to reach for God. These are patterns that are part of our wiring and part of the environment that we're raised in. We sometimes are taught that we learn about God and then that's how we experience him. And yet there is always a flavor of what we learn about love, forgiveness, and hope and peace in our homes and in our growing up that we end up putting on God from our own experiences. This is especially true for those who have gone through some spiritual trauma. So if this is you, please be gentle and compassionate with yourself as you heal. I would encourage you to consider that the things that create peace in your relationship with God, maybe it's music, candles, incorporating emotion and logic, imagery. Many of us were taught that faith was just logical, and yet it's through both logic and emotion that we connect. So in this season, wherever you are with your Maker, I hope you find peace. I hope you can be gentle with yourself and compassionate with yourself and allow yourself just to be. And I hope you find peace in this season. Shalom.
Well, that is our service for today. We really hope you enjoyed it and are so grateful that you were able to join us for it. Couple things for you. If you liked what you heard today in any way, shape, or form and would like to be a part of what we're doing here at SPERO Day, you can go to our website and sign up for our newsletter, as well as follow us on social media platforms. Secondly, if you are someone who is currently giving financially to SPERO Day, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. We literally could not do what's being done here without your contribution. And if you are someone who would like to be a part of SPERO Day in a financial sense, please feel free to go to our website and tap on the top right corner of it, and you can give knowing that your payment is secure in every way. Again, thank you so much for being here today, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully next week.